I feel like that's like the downside of being a creative. Like you want things to be so perfect that for me, like I feel like it puts me in freeze mode. Like if it's not perfect, I almost feel like a failure or like I can't do it or like I'm hyper
Yeah.
fixate on it and I have to like keep going at it and keep going at it. And even though someone tells me that like it's fine, it's perfect, like you're lying. You're lying. But then I don't know, like it just got to the point where I'm just like, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just do it and move on and you can like fix it on the way. But I feel like that's just a constant struggle for creatives in general.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to The Creative Mind. I am your host, Byron Craig, and today you are in for a special treat. My guest today, she is a content creator. She's a photographer, the founder of Have Hope Photography, and she's a model. But I think one of the coolest things about her is she is a thrifting fashionista. She finds some of the dopest things in thrift stores. And I mean, like, look at her outfit. Like, come on. Like, come on, people.
It is partly thrifted.
It is partly, is partly thrifted, you know? Oh, also her nail game for all the ladies out there, her nail game, unmatched. Okay. You heard. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I present to you my friend Shanelle Hope.
Woo! Hello, hello.
Thank you so much for being. I appreciate you doing this.
Of course. Thanks for asking me. I know I was a bit nervous, but I'm honored to be on here.
Hey, there's nothing to be nervous about. Like I told you, it's literally just us. Like we would have a conversation at church on Sunday. It's just a back and forth. We're just talking creatives. We're both creatives. We're just talking.
We understand.
We understand that lingo. So for those who don't know you, because I'm assuming some people know you, but some people might not, tell the world, who is Shanelle Hope?
I feel like that's such a, what's the word that I'm looking for? That's such a...
It's a loaded question.
It is a loaded question.
But like, is it really though?
I know. Is it? Because I'm not super complex, so I feel like it shouldn't be hard. But yeah. Let's see. So I am originally from Alabama, Southern girl at heart. Moved to Dallas, Texas in about, I think it's 7 years ago now.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've been in Dallas for 7 years. I do have a twin sister. So she did move to Dallas when I first moved here for the first year, and then she moved to New York. So I've really been doing Dallas by myself. So it's been interesting. Just, I feel like as a twin, like people always categorize you together. Like they don't really see you as individuals. And I feel like when I moved to Dallas, like that's when I was able to find my individuality. Like I was finding my own friends, like just finding my own lane in this world. So you know how people always say like move out of your hometown, like that's probably the best thing that you could do for yourself. Like I feel like that's honestly the best thing that I've done for myself as of lately. Because I mean, I feel like I wouldn't have done everything that I've done if I was still at home.
Of course. What's there to do in Alabama?
Nothing.
Besides Roll Tide and Orange Beach, like what's there really to do?
It's I love my city. It's a small town. A lot of people get stuck in a small town, and I don't know, like every time I go back and visit, I'm like, okay, it's time to go again.
What's the maximum amount of days? Now I'm just curious. What's the maximum amount of days that you can stay in Alabama?
2, probably. 1 is pushing it, but 2,
dang.
Like, okay, I can visit my friends that I haven't seen, spend time with family, but after that, I'm just like, you eat the same thing. Like there's literally nothing to do. So
dang.
Mm-hmm.
It's that. Oh, that's small town
It is
living.
very small.
No, see, I couldn't do that.
Have you been to Alabama?
I have visited Orange Beach, and that's the extent.
Yeah.
Because when I used to work at car dealerships selling cars a long time ago, and a friend of mine told me a very racist story about Alabama. He was driving through, got stuck in a, like, what is it called when there's like the small towns?
Um,
Uh, something. Is it called Twilight Cities or
you mean
sundown towns?
sundown? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He got stuck. I mean, now this man was from Africa, and he was like 6'3", big. Like, yeah, it didn't end well. His story was, yeah, it didn't end, so that was like, I was like, eh. And
Yeah.
then I had a friend who was on my podcast, but I knew him. He's a photographer. He lives in Spain now. His name's Matt. He was on the episode before you, and he told me a story on my old podcast about, he said his friend, he went to University of Alabama. His friend's grandfather, he went over there for like lunch or whatever, and he had they closed the door, and on the back of the door was his grandfather's clan robes in a dry cleaning bag, and the hood fell out. He's like, oh, okay.
It's so interesting. Like I feel like I always hear, like I feel like that's people's impression of Alabama.
Of course.
I feel like, yes, like there is a lot of racism, but I've never experienced it. So it's just like, it's certain parts that you just like have a question mark. But yeah, it's not as bad as people think, but it can be as bad as people think.
Of course. Maybe like in the major cities, but
Yeah.
out in them small hick towns. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No
Just
dice.
beware. Just be on guard.
Yeah, of course. So how did you get into, so being from a small town in Alabama, how did you get into the life of being a creative? Photography, modeling? I mean, you got the makeup and everything, the fashion, I mean, obviously.
So back when like blogging or like doing an actual blog was a thing, so I would say probably the beginning, like when MySpace was a thing. Like I feel like
okay.
when blogging was also a thing. So my sister and our best friend, they were really deep into blogging, doing YouTube when Tumblr was a thing. Like we were all into it. So I don't know what striked a chord for me to want to ask for a camera, but I remember asking for a camera. We got one in middle school, and
Wow.
I've literally just been shooting ever since. But it literally started with my sister and my best friend, and I would just shoot them whenever they wanted to do a new blog post or they had a new outfit. Like I would always shoot it. And I didn't actually start charging people until college. So it was like a long time before I actually started shooting other people.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So you, from middle school all the way through high school, you didn't charge not a single person, nothing?
Crazy, right?
Insane. The amount of money you probably could have made is
literally, and I probably would have charged, like I wasn't even charging a lot. So then it's like I would have made money, but would I really have been making a lot of money?
I mean, like $50 a photo shoot, like that's not terrible.
It's not terrible.
I mean, $100 a photo shoot. I mean,
yep. I think I started charging, I think it was less than 200. So I think I started charging like 150 or something like that. Cause at the time I was working at a nursing home. And I think I was making like $12, $13 an hour. I was like, okay, so what's the amount of an 8-hour shift? I was like, if I can make a little bit more than that, I'm good.
Yeah.
So that's what I would charge. Yep.
And it's like you're done in an hour, maybe.
Yep.
Boom, boom, boom. Edit. You're good to go. You just made a quick 150.
Literally.
Man, 4 shoots, you're at $600. I mean, come on, that's food.
I was living. I was like, this is great.
Especially you in college. I mean, you got food on campus. I mean, come on.
Yep.
No better way. I love it.
Good life.
College life. So then you end up finishing college. Do you continue going through? I mean, obviously, I didn't know you worked at a nursing home. That's dope.
Hmm.
How was that?
Interesting. So I actually have a degree in healthcare.
I didn't
So
know that either. Oh my
yep.
God.
Yep. So I have a degree in health sciences. I minored in health informatics. So it's like working with electronic health records. So that's my background in college. So I was gonna go to be a PA, actually, a physician assistant. So that's why I took that route. I was gonna be a doctor, but changed that because I was like, when I got to my junior year in college, I was just like, all these science classes? No.
What you mean? You mean you could have been Dr. Hope?
Yeah, crazy, right?
Not crazy. I just think that's cool. I would have been like, I wonder if you were a doctor, would you even still have that passion of shooting? Because I mean, you would never have the time.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think so. If I would have went that route, I feel like my life would look completely different.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I know. Yep. So I worked at the nursing home for 5 years.
Wow.
Yep.
5 years taking care of the elderly.
Yep.
That's wow.
Yep.
Jeez.
Mhm.
How was I mean, how was I mean,
Mhm.
you always hear about people's living conditions and them talking about nursing homes are terrible places. Like within 6 months, if someone being there, they're just out the door, not the way they came in though. But
Mhm.
like, what was that experience like?
Um, I think it all depends on the facility, and I feel like it all depends on the aides. The aides and the nurses are really what holds up the facility. So yes, I've worked with nurses that weren't so great, and you can tell that they didn't love their job. The same with CNAs, which is what I was. But I mean, it wasn't terrible. In my head, I was just like, I that's why I went into healthcare. Like I wanted to help people. So I was just like, this is literally like the nitty gritty of hands and feet,
Mm-hmm.
being able to help people. So I mean, yes, it was paying my bills at the time, but I don't know, like it was also rewarding in a
Yeah.
weird sense because it was very strenuous on my body, like always on my feet, like you're having to lift people up and to do all
Ooh.
these things. So it's not, I guess, ideal. Like when I tell people I worked at a nursing home, they're just like, really? I'm like, yeah,
Because you're not like tall.
no,
You're like short and not. I mean, not
exactly,
saying short's a bad thing, but you're just a little shorty and
exactly. Yep. 5'4" and having to like people who are bedridden, like you have to turn them over, like you have to learn how to like lift people from their wheelchair to their beds. Like it's
wow.
a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a lot.
It is.
Mm. What is it now? Now, just go with me real quick. Just because this is just a side note, because I'm super curious.
Okay.
What's that like? What's the mental strain and the mental like? How does it mess with your mind when you watch on a daily basis somebody new pass away? I mean, I'm not saying everybody dies like every day, but I mean, if it's 2 people a week, you're like, you've built a rapport. It's like, is it like your family passing?
I I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's like my family passing, because I feel like deaths weren't as frequent as you think.
Mm.
Because we had like the short term and the long term side. So the people who are on long term, like there are some that's been there the whole 5 years that I've been there, and then there's some
Wow.
that does eventually end up passing away, but it's not as quick as you think. But I don't know. I guess it didn't hit me as hard. And I don't know if that's just because I like grew numb to it
Mm.
or I don't know, but it wasn't terrible. Like I wasn't around death a lot.
Mm. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. I was
Yeah.
just curious, just because I think about like police officers,
Mhm.
lawyers, people who have to deal with a lot of different things all the time, and you never really get to process it. So, especially lawyers, they're from one case to another, especially when it has to. Oh, and CPS workers, all of
Mhm.
those people, they deal with like the most heinous of heinous things on a daily basis, and how do you like my constant thought is how do you process that? Like, how do
Yeah.
you, oh my God, I saw someone get shot today. Now I got to go home and go do the next thing. Or I saw a child being beaten by their parents and locked in a closet with feces everywhere. And you're like,
Mhm.
what? How do you go home to your wife and child and go, today was a good day. We
Yeah.
saved somebody, like what?
It's a different world. Like, I had a lot of friends that were doing well, I wouldn't say a lot of friends, but I had some close friends that were also doing it with me, so I feel
Mhm.
like it's easy to vent to them. But then it's also it's one of those cases where, like, you walk in, you have to leave your personal life behind, and it's like when you leave the doors, like, you really do have to leave work behind.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that. Like,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know if I could do that because that's just not the type of person I am. Like, I am the type of person that carries everything always, and that's probably really detrimental. And we're working on it in therapy. Go to therapy if you're not in therapy, people.
100%.
Uh, yeah. Anyway, sorry for my side diva.
No, you're
There was
good.
it just is. I'm just super curious about a lot of things. Um. So okay, so you're out of college now. Now you move like do you immediately move to Dallas after college?
Nope. So I stayed in Mobile for one more year. So I was still working at a nursing home, and then I moved to Dallas. I was actually interviewing with different places. I have a best friend who lived here before I moved, so I would just stay with her.
Yeah,
Just interviewed until someone finally hired me.
nice.
Hmm.
How did the creative journey kick off here?
It was slow. It was slow, because my friend, like, she was married, she had a kid, so I wasn't with her a lot.
Mm,
So I was making friends with my coworkers, but I don't know, like, I just wasn't doing much, like, I wasn't really branching out. So I don't know, I just had to find my way. So it was very interesting. Like, I feel like it was a very slow start, especially like having to regain clients again, like just create social media stuff. Like, I don't know, just having to find the drive for it. It took a while for me. Like, anyone who asked me like how long did it take to adjust moving to a new city, I would say a year or two, honestly. Like,
wow.
unless I'm not super social. So that's another thing too. Like, I'm very introverted, so it took me a while, and then it took me a while to find like quality friendships.
That makes sense.
Mhm.
Introverts like what is that? Is it ambivert where it's like you're extroverted with the right people? Is that what an
Mhm.
ambivert?
I
Yeah.
think so.
I
I
feel
think
like I feel like I can be an ambivert.
yeah.
I just
I feel
I
like you're social.
I love people. That's like one thing about me. I love people,
Yeah.
but I don't get like full charge from people. But like certain people, I do.
Mhm.
But sometimes I'm just like, okay, I've had enough.
Yep.
This is I'm done.
Yep. That's me.
Social social battery's gone. But the thing is, I won't act like it. But mentally, I know it's gone. I'm like, so I'll just like go be on my phone in the corner or something. Like, oh, hey, y'all ready to go? Okay, cool.
Yeah, if I start doing like this a lot, that's when you know my word count is gone and I don't have it in me anymore.
You said I'm no. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yep. A bunch of head nods and smiles. Like I think that's just universal. Like
I think so too. Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that struggle, like how hard was it to rebuild an entire client base? Because I know there's people who are moving around or wanting to shift their focus from whatever they're doing now into another area. Like, what is that like where you have to just start from scratch and rebuild?
Yeah. So for me, like once stopped being an introvert and I started actually like attending networking events, but like at least I don't like the super professional ones because I feel like I'm not in a corporate job, so I don't necessarily love those. But
Yeah.
like if the church that I was attending at the time, if they had a young adult thing, I would go to that. Or if there was anything for like content creators, like I would go to those events. I would start networking on social media. Like I feel like social media, like it can be a good and a bad thing. It just depends on the way that you use it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, like once I was able to connect with the right people, like those people knew people, like word of mouth has gotten me way further than anything.
Really?
Yep. Most of my
Wow.
clients are word of mouth.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, not everybody has that experience.
Mhm.
Huh. You would think in 20, I mean, what year was this when you moved to Dallas?
20 I graduated 2017.
You would think in 2017, Instagram, uh, maybe Twitter.
Mhm.
I don't know. Something
Maybe.
like that. Like those
Yeah.
would be the main ones. But word of mouth is interesting.
I know. It's crazy, right? And in such a social media and like digital world, like
Mm-hmm.
you would think it'd be some other way, but no. Like I feel like the quality of friendships that I made, like because like I've done shoots for them, like I've worked with them, or they know me personally, like it's easy to just spread the word that way versus like just being someone who pops up on social media or like you're just an ad or
Yeah.
something like that. So yeah, that has honestly taken me a lot further.
What do you think of like these networking events? Like, I mean, you said you've been to them. Me personally, I mean, I understand the concept of networking and how networking is important,
Mhm.
but realistically, like, so me, I hate wasting time. I hate wasting my own time because I don't get any more time. And that's a whole other subject about freedoms and stuff for another
Mhm.
day. But like networking events, I don't feel like, I feel like most of them are not put on properly.
Agreed. They are not. I till this day I don't everyone says like go to networking events. I honestly I just I don't want to because I feel like they're like you said like they're not put on properly and I feel like everyone they're not really there to network. Like they're there to talk about themselves or like
Mm-hmm.
they're there to I don't know. Of course, like they want like if they're a realtor, like they want to be able to have that connection. Like, of course, if you're a photographer, like yes, you are looking for clients and things like that. But I don't know. Like you said, I feel like it could be put on better to where like it feels more beneficial. Like even
Yeah.
the networking events like the tech events, those are great for like people who are looking for a job. But I don't know. They just I don't like them, and it's always a lot of people, and I don't like starting small convers I don't like it. I don't like small talk. It just
What's with people? I don't. I guess I'm weird. I mean, I just enjoy talking to people. So I mean, like I'll have a conversation with anybody about anything. But I guess it's just like some stuff is weird. But like a lot of creatives hate small talk.
I hate it. I hate
Why do
it.
you hate it?
I don't what's the end goal here? Like, okay, we're talking and you're asking me these questions like are we going to end up friends? Like, I think in my head, I'm just like, sometimes when you're having small talk, you can already tell if this person, like, they're going to be in your life
Mm-hmm.
beyond this conversation or not. And most times when I have conversations, I'm just like, we're just talking to talk. Like, we're honestly just wasting our breath right now.
We're not on the same wavelength.
That's what
We're
I'm saying.
not here. But I guess if you, I guess when you hate, ooh, excuse me, I hate when you hate small talk. You know when that vibe matches and that frequency matches, like okay, cool.
Literally, yeah, because I like they're the friends that I have now, like I feel like the conversation, it was just so easy. Like there wasn't any like, what do I have to say next? Like it was just it was fluid, like it flew
Yeah,
so perfectly. Like some conversation, like it almost was like pulling teeth. And I'm like, if you don't have to talk to me. Honestly, like I'm okay with sitting in the corner. Like I am honestly okay.
she said you don't have to talk to me.
You don't.
Stop, please stop talking to me. I would really appreciate that.
Right. We can stand here awkwardly. I'm okay with that.
Now that part, I can't stand there just awkwardly and going like, okay, well, okay, I'm gonna go, and then like, okay, bye. I'm like, where'd you get that all of a sudden energy from? Like, come on, back up. Now I'm just come back and piss you off just a little bit more, just cause like,
I just don't love it, man. I just don't love it.
okay, well. I got you. That's cool. But I mean, like, you would think as a creator, especially as a content creator, you have to have some sort of small talk buzz, right? I
You
mean,
you do. You have to at least yeah, you have to be able to at least hold a conversation. And I think it also helps, like, if you, I don't know how to hold a conversation well. Like, I feel like it helps the other person. But if you're not giving me anything,
yeah.
I've used everything I know. I don't I don't know what else to do here.
You know, I've found that there is that people born like 2000 and later. Well, no, let me take it back. 90. I guess we're in 2025, so 95 and later. I don't know if that's you, but uh, they don't know how to have a conversation.
Mhm.
Is mind blowing how you cannot have a conversation with someone.
Yeah.
How?
It's a skill. It's a skill for sure. Like, I feel like I didn't know how to hold a conversation until, like, I started, like, deep diving into, like, self-development, like going to therapy. Like, I feel like
Mm.
it definitely is a skill, and they're not teaching it in school. So, I mean, with everybody's short attention span nowadays, of course they're not going to know.
Oh, we are in such a subculture of like 30-second increments. Like,
Yep.
how you have a conversation in 30 seconds? Sup, sup, cool, cool. Yep. Mm-hmm. All good. Peace. What? What is that?
I don't know. That's the world that we are living in right now.
My kids at their school, like this high school stuff, I'm just like, I hear the way they talk to each other and I'm like, what? Not the skibbity stuff, but just like regular talking. I'm like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And then the teachers say nothing about it. And I'm like, now, and then they get mad and then I hear them complaining about it. I'm like, well, then do something about it.
It's
Tell
a
these
different
children to
breed.
learn how to talk.
It's a different breed of people now. I'm just like, wow, what's going on? Even like I feel like, I don't know, teachers don't get enough credit, but at the same time, I'm just like, it's a new wave of teachers. But then I'm like, how was it when I was back in school?
Them teachers was old as dirt.
They were. We didn't
Now
have a
we
lot
got
of young teachers.
like 20-some-year-old teachers and they're like, I don't care. Like, guys, come on, it's okay. Like, just be on your phone. It's all right. Like,
That's crazy. We were not allowed to be on
uh-uh.
our phones.
Phone? What's a phone? I had like
Right.
the flip phones and
Dang.
the
And the little
razors
razor
and
and the slide.
dude, the what is the sidekicks, like
Oh
that
my gosh,
was
I wanted that so bad. Didn't they come back out with that? Or
they
like,
did. But I mean, you're competing against iPhone and
I
come on. Like,
know.
that's not a thing.
I feel like I want it to be like, if I want to be truly like disconnected, I feel like that would be the best way to go.
Yeah. The best way to go is to go get the little, what is it, track phone, and
Hmm.
where it has just nothing. You can't, it's just numbers.
Literally.
That's, I aspire to one day have that.
Me
Just
too.
take a vacation, not even move my phone number, just have a phone number, give it to the people who are important, who need to know, hop a plane to Europe and just go, I'll be gone for 6 months. If you need me, call me.
Yep. Literally. Can only text and call on that
Mm-hmm.
phone.
Yep. I just want to be in Italy, learning how to make pasta from a nonna, go look at the ancient architecture in old Eastern Europe. Um, yeah,
So
sounds fun.
simple. Such a simple life.
It is a unhurried life. It is a relaxing life. That's what
Unhurried.
I aspire to.
Hmm.
Yeah. Just be left alone to be left alone for months. Oh my God.
Literally, I always say, like, when I feel like I need a break, I'm like, I just want to be on an island that has no cell reception. I don't want to be bothered. Like, don't call me, don't nothing. I don't want to talk. I don't want any responsibility. I just
Yeah.
want to just be.
See, the thing is, you can do that. You don't have any children.
Fair.
You could definitely do that.
Definitely thought about hopping on a plane this month, but I'm being responsible.
That's not responsible. That's being tethered to life.
It's because where I wanted to. So, Fashion Week. This is so off topic, but
No. It's not off topic. Because you
Copenhagen
love fashion.
Week is, I didn't know, but it's at the end of this month. And the fashion in Copenhagen is it's second to none. It's like
really?
My favorite. Yep. Like, I would rather go to Copenhagen than go to New York Fashion Week.
Really? I didn't know Copenhagen had a fashion like that. Shout out Denmark. 2, didn't even know there was a Copenhagen Fashion Week.
Yep. And it's at the end of this month.
You should go.
I want to.
You should.
Tickets.
You should go.
I'm still considering it highly.
I'm telling you, you should go. End of January, you should go. So when this podcast comes out at the end of January, you will be in Copenhagen.
Okay. All right.
We gonna just
into existence.
We just gonna put it in the ether in the universe. Lord's gonna hear it. He gonna make a way.
Amen.
So now I'm just curious. What's Copenhagen fashion?
It's I don't know how to describe it because it's not streetwear, but it's not corporate. Like, I just can't describe it. Like, I feel like the UK girlies, they know how to dress, and it's so effortless, and it just, they're my inspiration. It just looks so good. I just love it so much.
I like fashion. I mean, I even wore like a really nice like polo shirt with the V. I was like, okay, I was like, Shanelle likes fashion. I'm gonna fashion it up today.
Look at
instead of my just normal basic hoodie or whatever I normally wear on here. But like I was just, again, UK people, they just know how to dress.
Thanks. I love it. I have to send you like what they be wearing. It's just,
please do, because I'm genuinely curious.
It's so good.
Like, I look at the way that everybody in the UK dresses. It's clean, it's fitted, it looks amazing. And then you go to the mall here in Dallas and you're like, what are you wearing?
Literally. And they're like, and I love the fact that like none of their stuff is revealing. Like, they're all covered. Like, you don't have like your stomach showing, like your back's not out, like you're fully covered, and you just look so good. So good. And then the US, I'm just like,
you got hoochie shorts with the fishnets, and you're like, what? Like, why?
Still, yeah. I'd be so confused.
Yeah. I don't get it, but you know what?
We're here.
We here. So basically what you're saying is that you need to move. I'd love to have like a house in England. I would love it. Like, Portugal would be a nice place. These are goals. And so if anybody out there just wants to, donate a house to me.
Right. Or me.
Or Shanelle.
Anybody.
I mean, if you just want to, we could just call it the Creative Mind Podcast UK version. And if you want to period, we can do this. That's cool. That's dope. What do you like Japanese fashion? I mean, we were just talking about fashion. Do you like Japanese fashion?
I do. They also know how to dress, and it's nothing crazy either. Like, it's very clean.
Yeah. Uniqlo is like my now go-to store.
Really?
Like, oh yeah.
Yeah, they
Uniqlo's
have here now.
They have like 3. There's one in Arlington. There's one in the Galleria Mall in Dallas, and then there's one in Stonebriar Mall in Frisco.
Oh, Stonebriar.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, it's just, and it's a great price.
Oh, absolutely. I love their t-shirts. Sponsor us, Uniqlo, please. Both of us. Just give us all the clothes,
please.
More Shanelle, because she looks better in the outfits than I would. But hey,
you too.
I'm just saying. But yeah, like, Oh, fashion's an interesting thing because that's a version of creativity too.
Yes.
Jason, I know you know Jason. Jason Talley says that if you pick out an outfit, you are creative. Yeah. He said you picked that out. Like you picked out the gray vest with the blue striped shirt. I got on the white polo shirt with the V-neck. That we picked out. We are creative. I agree with him, but I also semi-disagree. Cause like some people, you picking out hoochie shorts, that's not creative. That's just, that's something. That's whorish.
I mean, I feel like because I do have friends, they're like, I'm just not creative like you. I'm like, you are in your own way. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the way that you dress, like your outfits that you pick, that could be like your way of creativity. But I don't know. Everyone's different.
I've never been to Japan or Portugal or even Copenhagen. Would love to go because there's a really nice restaurant there called Noma. So if you do go, try and make a reservation. It's like a Michelin. It was rated number 1 restaurant in the world, like many years. Yeah, $300 and some for a tasting menu. Oh.
I will not be making that reservation.
Oh, your face changed real quick with the price. It's like, oh yeah, of course, 300.
Not in this season of my life. Nope.
The tickets to, I trust me, like the food looks amazing. There's also a place called Geranium. Yeah, same price. I mean, hey, I like to eat. We eat's good over here. Me
too, but
not $300 tasting menu, but it's like 20 some courses though.
I don't even have the stomach for that. Like my stomach is the size of a bird.
But they're like bite-sized little pieces. Like
after 3, I'm done.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I don't remember what I was saying that threw me. That threw me for a loop the face. I don't remember.
Creative
I was saying
outfits.
I still don't remember. Oh, well, maybe
that they feel like they're not creative.
Everybody's creative. I guess like you said, at the end of the day, everybody is creative. Jason said the same thing. I find it hard to believe that, like you said, people are creative in their own ways, but that's just interesting. I'm sorry, I'm really fixated on this Copenhagen, this Dutch, or not Dutch, this Denmarkian. Is that what they're called? Denmarkians?
Yeah, I think.
Denmark? I mean,
don't quote me.
Don't quote us. Please. We don't know history like that. We don't know geography like that.
Please don't come for me.
Sorry, people who live in Denmark. I have a cousin who lives in Norway. Yeah. I'm going to try and get on the podcast. She was a famous pop star. Yes. She was on, have you ever heard of the show X Factor?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was one of the judges on X Factor in Norway. So
I'll Google this later.
Yeah. Her name's Mira. Mira. Mira Craig. Yeah. That's my cousin. She's really cool.
I love that. Yes.
Love her to bits. Yes. She was on my old podcast, but that was about random thoughts and, but this time we're talking about creativity and her journey. Like it's really interesting. I'll just tell you a quick story. We went to South Carolina a few years ago for a family reunion and she was there and we took Ubers everywhere and the Uber driver was like, "Oh my God, I know who you are." And she was like, "What?" Like he was like, "I saw you at some Essence Fest in New Orleans and like you was with Wyclef Jean and Snoop Dogg and he was like telling her all of this and she's like, "Oh, that's dope. Yeah." And like somehow, some way, I don't know how he did it. He unlocked Twitter and got her phone number and was like texting her. And she was like, bro, you've got to stop. Yeah.
People are weird.
Dudes be creepy. Dudes be real creepy. Dudes, like,
Wow. How did you even do that?
I don't know, but like we went to what is it called? It's the International African American Museum. It just opened out there in Charleston, South Carolina, and we went there, and, and the whole time this dude is texting her like, "Hey, like, do you need a ride back to wherever you're going? Like, let me know. I'll stop Uber and like give you like a free ride." And I was like, sounds kind of like, you know, Jeffrey Dahmer type situation.
Right. Like, that's why I stay inside.
Fair points. Fair points. See, nothing can happen to you when you inside
That
in your
part.
own house. In your own house.
Nowadays, you never know, but I am safer inside.
This is true, but this is why we have little pew pews everywhere.
I don't, but you know.
Well, you need to. It's Texas.
They make me nervous. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Really?
They do.
We'll have to. We'll get some good people around you to like teach you how to do. Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Yeah, because everybody in this world,
I know.
in 2025 Trump America. Again, no judgment if that's your thing. I didn't care for either person. Just to put that clear. In Trump's America, like you never. Hey, you know what? One day someone's gonna hear this and be like, because I've said it multiple times, like I didn't care for either person. I just have to reiterate it, just so nobody comes for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to say the least.
Yes. All right. Back to creativity. Well, I mean, fashion was creativity, but Trump's not. Presidency stuff, that's not creative. Now, the only creative thing that he could do is, you know, give me a little stimmy, a $5,000 stimmy.
Were they talking about doing stimulus checks again, or did I just read that somewhere? And
I mean, hey, I haven't heard about it, but if they do, old Donald John, you can give me the $5,000 stimmy. You can give me the chip. Yeah, you can give me the stimulus check.
Yeah, anybody, if they want to drop some money my way, I'm here for it. Put in my account.
The Venmo is
do I use? I don't even use Venmo.
Dang.
I know.
Bad plug. You could have been like, oh no, it's Cash App. You know, Cash App is blah 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 blah.
I do have Cash App. I don't know it because I don't use it.
Dang.
I know.
Now, how you gonna ask for blessings, and then when someone's like, I'm gonna cue you up for the blessing,
you know,
you're like, oh.
Whoever's hearing it, they have access some kind of way to just drop it in my account.
Well, that is true. You can. Yep. That is true. You can go to the show notes at the bottom of this podcast and then click on the link where her Instagram handle is, and then, you know, reach out that way.
Period.
See? Commonplace solutions for commonplace problems.
Period.
Simple. All right. So how'd you get into doing modeling?
I think my first actual modeling gig thing I did was in college. It was a fashion show. So I did, I guess runway. I don't love runway.
What?
It's
Why?
not my thing. I'm too short too. No. I'm way too short, so they wouldn't hire me anyways.
Dang.
Yeah.
Hey, stop being height supremacist out there, runway models.
You know, things slowly they're changing, but yeah, I don't. It was okay. I think because we joined it was like a fashion. What do you call those? Not group, but what do you call those things in college? They're like groups, but like
a sorority.
Oh. What do you call it?
I don't know.
Like an organization, we'll call it that. It was like a fashion organization.
There you go.
They put together a fashion show. So we modeled for that, me and my sister. I really want to say because of like Tumblr days. I don't know. Like it's almost like it just became a part of me.
Okay.
Like I don't know. And then I slowly like people would reach out and like, hey, do you want to model this? And like, do you want to model this clothing item or this yada yada such and such? So I don't know. I kind of just fell into it.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if I would do it full time. I don't think I would. I say that now, but I don't think I would do it full time. But if the opportunity presented itself and you needed me to model for something,
Yeah.
I'll do it. But yeah.
Hit them DMs, people.
Yeah.
No creeps though.
Right, please, because I won't respond and I'll just block you. So
that part.
Mm-hmm.
We are sanctified over here in these
that
parts.
part. So
man.
Close to the Lord, then keep it moving.
Cleanliness is next to godliness.
That part.
That part. Yeah, that's modeling to me is very interesting. Because when you look at like the 90s, like I used to have the biggest crush on Tyra Banks. I thought she was all that.
I used to watch her show all the time.
America's Next Top Model?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm talking about like when she was in Swimsuit Illustrated, Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition. Yeah. And then Victoria's Secrets. Yeah. That like 13-year-old me was like, I remember this is so stupid and so embarrassing. I used to cut out pictures from like those magazines and like put them in like the clear part of my binder.
Wow.
Like where was the outward part?
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, my little high school girlfriend was like, you can't get no pictures of me. I'm like, no, girl, because Tyra fine. You just aight. Tyra fine.
Not aight. What the heck?
Yeah. But you know, like back in the day, like you were like, oh, I could just you're young and confident. Like I could just get anybody at any point in time. Like Tyra Banks, 20 years older than me, but I can pull Tyra. I don't think she's 20 years older than me, but still, you know.
I was like, how old is she now?
I don't know. She's got to at least be 50. At least.
51.
51. Okay. See, this is why I need a producer. If there's anybody who wants to be my producer, you can just, be here and help us Google things because we're just Googling. Would love it. I would love a team to do this.
I know.
Yeah.
You will have a team to do this.
Amen. So modeling. Now, which do you prefer more? Modeling, photography, content creation?
If I had to pick, I would say photography because I'm behind the scenes, which is so crazy because I feel like modeling, you're front and center.
Yeah.
Creation front and center, which I do enjoy creating. I don't like being front and center. It's so weird. Like public speaking is not my thing because you are front and center and everyone's like staring at you. So to be a photographer, like you're just behind the scenes, like you're behind the camera, you're doing all the directing, like it's great. And then the work that you do after a shoot, it's all to yourself.
Yeah. Just because you like being behind the scenes, I'm appreciative that you're in front of the camera this time, hanging out with me, and talking. Yeah, I like photography. I like the behind the scenes of it, but I also, I literally had therapy earlier today and I was talking to my therapist. She was asking me about, creativity. And she's like, I was telling her, me personally, I'm not inspired by anything right now. There's nothing out there where I'm like, I have to shoot X, Y, Z. I'm just like, if I shoot, I shoot. I have so many other things in my mind, but like, I feel I can, now that I've mentioned it, I just feel like such a creative dry spell. Cause besides the photo shoot that we did when we did the little walkabout in October, it had been 4 years since I shot like an actual thing for myself. Everything else is like, like social, church, and but that 4 years. And now I'm like, oh crap, what have I been doing? I mean, I know what I've been doing. I've been building Big Break and stuff, but yeah, interesting.
So at this time, like you don't have anything that you want to shoot.
No. My therapist was like, you should go shoot in nature. I was like, that doesn't inspire me.
Doesn't inspire me either.
No. I mean, cool, tree, beautiful, rock, amazing, bird, caca, amazing. I love it, but I don't want to take a picture of it. Like I'm not gonna go out and buy like some really long lens to take like a bird photo. I'm also not white, so I'm not going anywhere where there's like dangerous animals.
Yeah, people who, which I appreciate the eye for people who can do like landscape and take really nice photos of like a city or like
Mm-hmm.
something like, I don't know, but I don't have the eye for that, nor do I have like the drive or desire
Yeah,
to
I
do
feel
it.
that. I feel that. I appreciate, like you said, I appreciate the art of it,
Hmm.
but I don't. That's just not my thing. People are my thing, but there's not been a person, because typically I like wherever it kicks off is like I shoot a friend
Hmm.
and I'm like, okay, cool, and then I get back into it. There's just nothing.
What do you like shoot like typically?
Oh well, I mean, I'll just tell you the same thing I told my therapist. So I started off in combat sports. So I started off making documentaries, uh, of like UFC fighters. So that's what I spent my first. So from 2011 to 2017, 2018. Yeah. So like 7 years. That's all I did. I made small documentaries and I shot photos. I literally told story. I did time life. I told stories about them,
Hmm.
of their life, of their careers, because not all their careers were like really long. Some of them were like short. The guy who gave me my first chance, my big break, was he eventually, from the time that we met to the time that we finished working together, he went from no name to the champion. So all those years of photos, I just have, they're on a hard drive. If he was a bigger, like a more active person,
Yeah.
or like a talker or anything like that, he would have been he would have been one of the best. But you know, he lives in Midlothian, and yeah, he was quiet, and his name was Johnny Hendricks. So if anybody likes UFC, there's some documentaries out there that I made for Johnny
Hmm.
Hendricks. But yeah, people, and then I have a really good friend. I call him my mentor, but he hates when I do that. His name's Eric Williams.
Hmm.
He lives in LA. He has shot everybody named Mama. Like I'm talking celebrities, combat sports, because we used to do it together. Uh, NBA, basketball. I mean, anybody you can name, he's probably shot a portrait of them.
Hmm.
Amazing. We used to sit and talk about photography for hours, and he would just like send me stuff, and I'd like imitate it. That was really cool. But like that part of my life is over, and he tells me all the time. He's like, "Bruh, you have the eye. Get back to shooting." And I'm just like, eh,
Really?
yeah, because it just doesn't inspire me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like the like creative portraits? Like if you have to do like a set design or
Yeah. I mean, so I earlier today, so we just talked about what I did in therapy today. I have a sketchbook in my desk. I
Mhm.
pulled it out and I was looking at it. I was like, I remember I used to sketch out what like I wanted to do. There's a combat sports athlete. Her name is Valentina Shevchenko. Her nickname's the Bullet. What I wanted to do was get a lion claw bathtub filled with bullet casings,
Hmm.
and then just have her in it like she was taking a bath with bullets. Like that kind of stuff. I was like, oh, never got that opportunity to, but it's something that at some point had crossed my mind. I was like, that'd be really cool. Or like kind of like how these curtains are set up.
Mm-hmm.
But have it like with a shower, like have it be a clear shower curtain or something, or just like white paper or something, like white seamless, but have a garden hose with a shower head on the end of it,
Mm-hmm.
and then like have it spurt out, have it like sucking out from wherever the reservoir is different color paints, and then just have the paints just spraying, so it's just spraying constant paint, and then someone's just, so it's like raining paint,
Mm-hmm.
and then like the model's just sitting there really cold stone face, and they're just getting, and then like assistants moving the water, the sprinkler hose all around, so it's just raining different color paints, different color, and it doesn't have to be paint, it could be water, but paint's just easier to see, different paints everywhere, and it's just like covering this person, and that to me was art.
I would have
Yeah.
never thought to do that. You
Yeah,
should do it.
see,
You should
those
do
were
it.
things I should, like, because I never did that. And
If you need
but
somebody, I'm here. So
hey, I'm
yeah.
down. We'll have to. Now I'll have to figure it out. See, it's moments like that. It would only take one moment of inspiration and thinking that way to just go, huh, and then it would come back. But I'm like, do I really want to get into that? Like, do I want to go back to that? Because again, we're going back to therapy. For 6 months, I was consumed with the color green.
Really?
Yes. Obsessed. Like, I couldn't do anything creative that, if it wasn't green, I would deem it a failure. So it got to the point where I set up different cups on the island in my old house, and I put water in them, and I bought food coloring and like measured how many drops and would stir it and mix it. And I just was like trying to find that perfect consistency of green, until one day I figured out what it was, and then I just took a picture of it, and then it was done.
That was it.
That was it. I couldn't shake it.
You're like fixated on, like, you have to figure this out, and then once you figure it out, that's it.
Yep. But see, I can't allow myself to get back to that hyper fixated state again. And it doesn't happen always, but I know that the reality of knowing that it can.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if I could do 6 months of blue. Like, I obsess enough about the way that this podcast looks and color correcting it.
I know. I mean, I feel like that's like the downside of being a creative. Like, you want things to be so perfect that, like, it almost, like, for me, like, I feel like it puts me in freeze mode. Like, if it's not perfect, I almost feel like a failure, or like I can't do it, or like I'm hyper fixate on it, and I have to like keep going at it and keep going at it. And even though someone tells me that like it's fine, it's perfect, like, you're lying. You're lying. But then I don't know, like, it just got to the point where I'm just like, it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, just do it and move on, and you can like fix it on the way. But I feel like that's just a constant struggle for creatives in general. The way our brains work is just, it's different than a normal person.
I agree. This year, the Lord has so graciously given me the word reset as my word of the year. And it's reset. I'm working really, really hard to reset my expectations, and also reset the expectation of perfectionism. So I've been doing that. Like, last Sunday at social, that was, I'm like, it don't gotta be perfect, because normally everything in my mind has to be perfect. I'm just like, okay, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's good. I'm just yeah. I could go down that road about being good. I'm like, the world was good. God didn't make it perfect. It was good. Good is good enough for me. It should be, at least.
It should be. Yeah. I feel like, especially as a creative, like, if my name's on it, like, I feel like I want it to be great, or like I want it to be beyond amazing. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Every time, but no matter what, you're gonna self-obsess and see every flaw.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, that hair was out of place. That
Yeah.
I made like a little brush stroke right there, and
Ugh.
it's not perfect.
I know, like you just see all the what is it, minuscule? Is that
Yeah.
what
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like you just see it all. Like even like I feel like just like if you look at yourself in the mirror, like you see everything that's wrong. So it's just maybe it's like a self work thing.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe
Right.
it is a self-work thing because I'm not as bad as I used to be, but it's still a constant evolution process of growing. And because yeah,
Yeah.
especially like when you're talking about yourself, for you being a model, I couldn't pull off being a model, but for you being the model, I mean, it's probably even harder. And even like for the professionals like
Mhm.
Adriana Lima and all them, I bet it's incredibly hard because you're judged constantly on your appearance.
Yeah. Ugh. And with such a I don't know, like I feel like the internet is they're just so heartless. So it's just like you're putting yourself in front of so many people to judge you and you probably
Yeah,
have your own insecurities and it's a tough world. It's a tough
it
world.
is. You know, I what would maybe make it easier. There's an Instagram account called Cooked in the Comments. It's a podcast,
Hmm.
and it's like it's hilarious. It's a comment based podcast where they play a clip or they have like a video, and then people are just getting cooked in the comments, and they're just making fun. Maybe that part I would be like, okay, I can joke along with these people about X, Y, and Z.
Mhm.
But, you know, but it's that one random troll who's like, ha, all right, brown teeth, big nose.
Right. Just
Like,
point
what?
out something you're already insecure about. I'm like, mm-mm.
Oh my God, stop.
I,
Why?
I don't have the heart. Mm-mm. I
Yeah,
haven't
I
built up that shield yet. Mm.
no. Because my natural reaction is like, hey, you want to talk smack? Meet me here.
I'm just
Because,
gonna cry about it.
oh, see, no. My innate alpha mentality is like, hey, we're going to
Yeah,
fight this out. I mean, because most people will not say it to you in your face.
literally.
Like,
Hmm.
you real tough behind a keyboard, but
Right. Keyboard warriors here.
come find me.
They
Come
love
find
it.
me in person, and
They love it.
let's talk. No,
They're terrible.
they're terrible. If you could give any creative out there any advice as we wrap this thing up, if you can give them any advice about their journey, what would you, or even your journey, like how would you, what would you give to them?
Um, I would definitely say don't give up. I think that's like my biggest thing, especially doing it full time now. There are many times where I feel like I'm not good enough or I'm not doing enough, or, it's easier to just go back and work a 9 to 5. But like, I don't believe that God would have placed this gift inside of me and the visions that I have for nothing. And it's just like, you really have to just keep running the race. And then in the same breath, like there was this video that I saw recently where it's just like, you don't have to always like constantly just be going and going and going and like self improvement this and like having to be striving for this. Like, you simply can just be and to just rest. So it's just like
Mm.
learn just to find the balance. No, my light. Wow.
Dang. Thanks, Light. You just interrupted a perfect speech.
Literally. But yeah, just, keep running your race. Like, don't look left and right. Like, only look up to God. Like,
Yeah.
get all your clarification, everything that you need from God. Like, and that's it. Like, and you just keep doing whatever it is that God placed on your heart. And the fruits of your labor, like you're gonna see it come to fruition at the end. So just keep going.
Yep. Your gift will make room for you
Period.
wherever you go.
Mm-hmm.
Easy as that.
Mm-hmm.
You're also an artist in residence. We didn't even talk about that, but it's all right.
Wow.
She's an artist in residence. Her light wanted to go out, so
I know.
that means it's time to wrap things up, children.
I don't know how much battery life I have. That's terrible. I feel terrible because I'm like, I'm a photographer. I need the perfect lighting.
Hey, that's why we have color correcting. But I mean, it was like 30 seconds, so it's not bad.
Okay.
It's all right. We'll fix it. You're an artist in residence. It's amazing. How's that experience?
It's been good. I feel like I'm just gonna move down. Wow, this is terrible. This is even worse, guys.
We're debunking perfectionism, people. Come on. We're not perfect here. Mistakes are tolerated.
You'll just see my bed now. That's crazy.
She said, y'all can see my bed now. Wasn't expecting that.
Oh, that's crazy. Anyways, it's been good. I feel like
it's been good.
To be in a program, I feel like as a creative, like your hardest thing to do is like you have to enjoy what you do, like you love your craft, but you also have to pay bills. And I feel like that's like it's just so hard because when I feel like I have to get clients because I have to pay bills, like it doesn't feel fun anymore.
Yeah.
So I feel like I have the opportunity to do what I love. Like I don't have that much stress of worrying about paying for rent. Like it's just been good. I've met some great people. I'm able to do what I love. I mean, honestly, what more could you ask for?
Yeah. Last question about it. Do you feel free in it? That's a no. That's a no.
Not per se. I feel like at first the excitement of it, yes.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like it's almost still like you're doing a job. Like it's almost like exchange of services. So free.
Yeah.
But I mean, it comes with the territory.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you need to pay the bills and you don't want a 9-to-5 and you're creative and sometimes you don't feel super free. But freedom's on the way.
That part.
Freedom's on the way.
When you're a creative, you really do get creative with the things that you do, like either part-time jobs or like random gigs. Like you just find a way, you know?
Mm-hmm. Sure. It's the only way you can do it. There's no way that you can. Somebody, I don't remember who was saying it. My friend 730. David Banner, the hip hop artist, told him having a 9-to-5 is the greatest blessing because you don't have to worry about anything.
Period.
You don't have to
think. Like you do the same thing. I mean, honestly, like sometimes I think about that. I'm just like, dang, if I do a 9-to-5, like I know how much I'm gonna get paid. I know what I have to do every time I come in, and then when I get home, like I don't have to think about it anymore. Like it's so much easier to have a 9-to-5 than it is to work for yourself.
This is very true, but then you're not free.
Yeah.
And I think at least for me, I can only speak for me. These days, freedom is the most important thing.
Yep.
Like creative freedom and just freedom to, if I don't want to do a photo shoot, I don't have to. I can just relax. I can hop a plane to Copenhagen and go see Copenhagen Fashion Week at the drop of a dime because I got the dollars.
Yeah, that's freedom to me. If I can just like hop on a plane and just do whatever I want, like if I could just fly out the country tomorrow and not even think about it.
Perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Brilliant. This is why I want a private jet, a Bombardier Global 7500. Please, Lord, I'd love one.
You got the name. Okay.
Oh, we can talk about it afterwards. I have everything is written down. Insane goals. I want like 3. I want a Comlux, Airbus. We'll talk about it. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, so what's the verse? Like, write it in plain.
Habakkuk. It's Habakkuk 2:2. Yeah. Write the vision, make it plain. Yep. And that's what I've done.
See, period. That's what I'm
have to. All right. Let's wrap this thing up. We've talked about everything, I think. Yeah. I think we've talked about everything. I think the people have a good understanding of who you are.
Okay, period.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think? I mean, it's not my story.
It's your podcast. You tell me.
Hey, this is for the people. Yeah. I have learned stuff. I learned that you was in healthcare. I learned about Copenhagen Fashion Week. I have learned things. And that's all that we care about, is learning and helping people here.
Period. Yeah. I mean, I feel like we hit all the main like creative points. You learned something about me. Yeah. I thought you knew, but
I didn't.
That's crazy.
Or maybe I did and I just forgot. I don't know. It's late. It's been a long day.
Say less.
Say less. All right. If the people out there want to follow you and follow your journey, how can they get in contact with you? Or if they just want to, I don't know, give you some money because, there's somebody out there who's generous like that.
Right. If anybody wants to sow a seed, you can find me on Instagram. So Instagram, Shanelle Hope. That's my personal Instagram. If you want to see all the creative content creation, that's where you'll see it. And then my photography Instagram is have.hopephotography. So you can see all the portraits and the things that I do over there. If you want to book a session, just send me an email. The link is going to be in the bio. If you want to sow a seed, you can also send me an email and I will point you in the right direction.
She will send you that QR code and make sure them dollars is in her account.
Mm-hmm.
Shanelle, I appreciate you for doing this.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Absolutely.
This is what I needed.
See? Absolutely. This is what I needed. This is the best way to end the night.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody. I love you all, and we will see you next week with a very special guest from Houston, Texas.
Ooh.
Whoop. All right. Peace, everybody.
Bye.